Hey guys, it's me Jay Woods. So I filmed a first impressions slash tutorial using this new Natasha Denona Bronze palette, but I literally was trying to edit it for like 2 weeks. My iMovie kept stopping, then after a while it just wasn't reading my memory card. So hopefully I have better luck this time. I'm gonna put that in the universe. Good vibes only. Hopefully my chakras align and I'm able to upload this video because I love the way that the look turned out. So if you want to see how I got this look using the new Natasha Denona Bronze palette, definitely just keep on watching and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll put it down below. Alright, so I'm going to first go in with the shade Sundown, which is this one right here. It's like a peachy type of shade. And usually with Natasha Denona eyeshadows, you don't need to put on like a primer or anything. All I have on my eyes right now is just some concealer, and I kind of had to put the concealer on because I finally got my eyebrows done. Thank God I haven't had them done this whole quarantine, but when I got them done, I did get like a burn on my eye. So if the eyeshadow goes on a little bit weird on this eye, and that's why I got a burn, but I'm honestly not even mad because I really needed to get my eyebrows done, like badly. But yeah, you see that color is really light, but look at like how much is showing up. The pigmentation in this is so amazing. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Ridge, which is this one right here. And I'm going to also, I'm gonna also put that in my crease area. And yeah, this palette, I'm like so obsessed with it. I feel like this is the type of palette where you can literally use it every single day. It doesn't matter what the occasion is. If you're going out to an event, if it's your birthday, if you're going to a job interview, if you're going on a date, if you're, you know, whatever you want to do, this is the palette for you. Although I do think for a lot of people, they probably already have a lot of these shades because it is just, I mean, a neutral palette, but it has like all the shades that you need, honey. And it really goes on so nice. It blends out so pretty. Alright, so now that I got that all blended out, I'm gonna take the shade Suntan, which is this one right here. And I'm going to try to concentrate it more so on the outer corner, and then also just a little bit going into the crease area. And I'm going to use like a little pencil type of brush just because that'll help you like apply it. The thing is with this palette in particular is the shades are super duper pigmented, so sometimes I get a little bit scared. I don't want to add too much and then have it look like too gothic because that's not the look that I'm going for today. But if that's the look you want to go for, honey, you could definitely get that look. Just to obviously build up the shades. But yeah, so I'm just going to go on the outer corner and I'm just pressing it on. I'm not going to try to blend it or anything like that because I don't want it to go all over the place and then look like messy, you know what I mean? Like I want it to look precise. So you really want to put it on with some precision. Did I just say the same thing like twice? Okay, so a lot of the sparkly shades in this palette, it's almost like has like a glittery finish. Like these three right here especially, they have like a glittery finish. Honestly, the three of them look almost the same, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I want to sort of bring out the glitteriness of it. So I'm going to use the NYX glitter primer. Usually you would use this with a glitter or with like loose pigment, but you can also use it with these pressed pigments because they do have sort of like those like glitters in it. It's like very reflective, so it will look even better when you use a glitter glue. So hopefully this ends up looking nice, and hopefully it doesn't irritate my burn too much because that would suck. So I'm just going to put some in the back of my hand like so. Then I'm going to use a brush to apply it. Then it's almost like using a glitter glue where you want to let it get tacky a little bit. But don't wait too long because then it's going to dry and nothing's going to stick to it. But yeah, literally just like a couple of seconds and you'll be good. So what I'm going to do is take the shade Silk, which is this one down here. It's a pretty golden shade. I'm just pressing that onto the glitter glue. Get a little closer. looks so pretty. Oh, I love it. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but I use a different brush to apply the glue and then to apply the shadow. Okay, so now on the other eye. Let me just zoom in on the other eye. Okay, so I'm taking a different brush now to apply the shadow. So again, this is the shade Silk. We're just gonna press it on. Okay, and look at how beautiful and sparkly that looks. So I'm going back into the shade Sundown, which is the first shade that I applied. And I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. I do this before I apply concealer, where some people think it's weird, but that's just how it works for me. Sometimes I do go over it again after I apply concealer. But I hate it when the shadow like goes too low. And if you do that once you already have concealer on, you're kind of like screwed. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the shade Suntan, which is that outer corner shade. And I'm also going to add that. So with me for the inner corner shades, I always like to use either a matte white or like a pearly white type of color. This palette unfortunately doesn't have a shade like that because it's, you know, bronzy, and a pearl shade isn't considered bronzy. But because of that, I'm going to go to my ColourPop Rendezvous palette. I don't know if they still sell this, but I'm going to take this shade right here. I love this palette. I don't know, there's just something about the way that it looks. It makes me think of Morocco. But I don't know if that was like the theme of the palette. But that's definitely the vibe I get from it. So yeah, you just add that to your inner corner. It's really going to help brighten up the eyes. Alright, I'm going to apply my eyeliner now. I can't speak when I apply my eyeliner. It's just because I don't want to mess up. But I'm going to use the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. Usually I like to use the Epic Ink. That's my favorite eyeliner of all time. But I don't know where I put it. So I'm just going to use this one. What I do is I just do a line straight across, and then I do a little flicky flick at the end. You'll see how I do it. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the face makeup just because I like to do my lips and mascara last. Just because I powder my face a lot and then I get like the powder on my lashes, and I hate that. I hate seeing powdered lashes. I know you guys have seen it. I absolutely hate it. But anyway, so what I put on my skin first is the Zero Sebum Powder. This is by the Etude brand, which is a Korean beauty brand, but you can find it on like Amazon or whatever. If you have oily skin, this is like a must-have. You can put it on over your makeup. I like to put it on under my makeup, just because it's going to absorb all of the oil. It's going to make sure that your skin doesn't get as oily throughout the day. And you could also put it on top of your makeup as well. Alright, so I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury. This is shade 5.5 Warm. So I use this all around the perimeters of my face. Just to use one pump. I don't think that I need more than that. Yes, I'm just going to apply that. Yeah, it's really good coverage. Oh my god, I'm loving my eyes. The more I look at it, it's just like this bronze garish look. I'm so obsessed. Alright, so I basically applied that Charlotte Tilbury foundation all over my face so that I avoided this part. I also applied some of the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer to my nose just to contour it. So now I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Linen Vanish Stick. This is actually a foundation, but I like to use it sort of as like a highlighter underneath the eyes. So the same way that you would use a concealer, I like to put this underneath the eyes because the coverage is really nice. It is super creamy, so it's like really blendable. So yeah, I freaking love using this product. I wouldn't use it as a foundation all over my face because, like I said before, I am oily, and I feel like since it is such a creamy product, I don't know how that would work with my oily skin. I don't think it'll turn out too good. So I am just blending it into my skin before I set it. And I know my nose contour probably looks crazy right now, but I'm gonna go over it with some concealer, so that'll have to look better. That vanish stick, it just gives you like this flawlessness underneath your eyes. I love it so much. So next I'm going to use my Kimchi Chic Cosmetics. This is the Puff Puff Pass Powder. So I'm just going to take some of that. I'm going to dip my blender in it. I don't really bake, and usually I am always like afraid to use a lot of powder. But this kimchi powder, I'll give it to her. You will not look cakey if you use a lot of this. With pretty much every other powder I use, if I use too much, I look super duper cakey, and also my under eyes, it feels so tight, which I hate. I hate that tight feeling underneath the eyes, and also it dries out the skin underneath your eyes, so by the time that you're like 35, 40, you're gonna look like you're freaking 50 because you're just constantly like drying out your eyes with these powders. But with this one, it does not feel tight at all. It feels amazing. And more of that kimchi powder just on my chin, also my forehead, just because I get kind of oily in those places, so I feel like I need the extra powder. But then I'm gonna go into my not Anastasia, they canceled. My Charlotte Tilbury, what is this? Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This is the shade number 1, which is way too light, but I bought it for this sort of under eye area. And I'm just gonna press it down here, just because I love how it hides my pores. Even with the kimchi powder, it also does a good job of hiding the pores. But I don't know, there's just something about this Airbrush Flawless powder, it's like nothing can compare to it. Nothing. Alright, so now I'm going to grab my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This is the shade number 3, which is the shade Tan. I'm just going to take my brush. And this really does give you a flawless finish. It's hard to describe it. You kind of have to see it in person to really like see what I'm talking about. I don't know if like the powder is just like really fine and that's why it looks so flawless. I don't know the science behind it, but it looks amazing on the skin. And I also like the fact that it's matte because I love my ambient lighting bronzer, which I'm probably gonna also wear today. But with that bronzer, it does have like shimmer in it. So I know for some people, if you have, you know, a lot of texture or really large pores that you like to hide, it probably wouldn't be the best. And I feel like a lot of those like flawless skin products, those like finishing powders, they always have some type of shimmer in it. Whereas this powder, it doesn't have any shimmer in it, but it does a great job with just looking super duper flawless on the skin. With the Puff Puff Pass powder, I'm taking the powder puff from it, and I'm just going to, you know, coat my cheeks a bit. Cut it out, give it that sharp, flawless look. I love the powder puff that's in this. It's so like big and luxurious feeling. But I don't know, how do you wash these? Like, I don't really like to use it that often because I don't really know how to wash it. I don't want to like mess it up or anything, so usually I just use my beauty blender because obviously I always wash my beauty blender. But I don't know, can I put this in the washing machine? Do I just wash it with my hands? Is washing it gonna mess it up? I have no idea. Yeah, so I'm gonna go into the Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light. Just sort of add a little bit more bronziness to this bronzed goddess type of look. So I'm just going to take some of it. Alright, and I do want to add a little bit of blush to it, so I'm going to use Hourglass Diffused Heat, which is a blush. It's an ambient lighting blush. And I'm going to take the ambient lighting, what is this? I think it's just called the ambient lighting powder palette. So I'm just going to go into all three colors like this, just mix them up, swirl it all together. And then you just swirl it pretty much all over your face. And it's just a finishing powder, so if you put like a million other powders on your skin before and then your skin is looking like too matte, it's looking a little bit lifeless, you really just put this on your skin and it's going to give you a radiance. So you have a really like nice glow after using it. If you put it on and you feel like you don't have enough of a glow or whatever, if you spray some setting powder on it, it really brings out like the sort of iridescence within the powders. So I almost forgot to put highlighter on, which what a freaking travesty. Someone called the police, that should be illegal. So I'm going to use the Balm Mary Luminizer. This is just a liquid highlight. I'm actually going to put some on the back of my hand. I love using the back of my hand. I don't know what it is. Literally, sometimes I go to an event and like I have like a million colors in the back of my hand because no matter how many times you wash it, sometimes it just does not come off. So I just put, I dipped the Beauty Blender in it, and then I'm going to apply some. I literally only apply it here. I've seen people who put some like on other parts of their face, but since I am oily, and especially in the summer, I just can't. I can't. My whole face will look super greasy if I were to put it on other parts of my face. So what I'm gonna actually do is I also have this shade. This is the Bonnie Luminizer. This one's a little bit more golden than the other one. And I'm just going to dip my brush in here and just literally go over the liquid highlight with this powder highlight. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the lips. This is my favorite lip combo. I swear this lip combo, it cleared my skin. It changed my life. It's gonna get me a man. When Drake sees this, it's over. I'm about to be his next baby mama, okay? This lip combo is so freaking cute. So the first thing I apply is MAC Soar. So I just apply the liner. Okay, so next I'm going in with NYX's Lingerie Push-Up. This is the shade Bedtime Flirts. So both of those lip products are very, very matte. This is very matte. The lip liner is obviously matte because it's a lip liner. Most of the time they are. Because of that, I feel like I kind of have to go over it with a gloss. Even just this combination is like gorgeous. Yes, I love mixing those two colors. Sometimes when I only use this one, it looks like kind of like orange-ish. And then sometimes when I only use the Soar, it looks too red. But when you mix them both, it gives you like a beautiful nude shade that complements so many different like nude eye looks. So next I'm going to go in with Kimchi Cosmetics. This is the shade Natural, which is a beautiful brownish shade. And I really only put it in like the middle. It's just such a nice lip combo. So I'm going to apply my mascara and I'll be back. So here is our finished look. I am obsessed with this look. I love it so much. I'm sad that I like have nowhere to go. Like I really beat my face to just go downstairs and watch Indian matchmaking all day. But I really do love this look, and I also really love this palette. I'm actually happy that the first time I reviewed didn't come out, because I think that my look came out even better this time. But yeah, I love this palette so much. I totally think that it's worth the money if you need a palette like this. This is a great just like everyday palette. If you look at all the palettes that are coming out, you're just like, I don't freaking know what to get. This would be a great option, especially if you aren't someone who likes to do like crazy looks, if you just like to do like everyday looks. But if you want to do like crazy looks, this obviously wouldn't be the palette for you. But this is a great just like everyday palette. It's perfect for your wedding day. It's perfect to, you know, go to work if you wear makeup to work. It's perfect to go to, I don't know, prom with? Wait, prom's canceled. Listen, you can do a lot with this palette just because you can use it on an every day basis, because all of the colors are so wearable. But I will say, a lot of people, especially if you do buy makeup a lot, you probably already have a lot of these shades. But I still think that it's super duper beautiful. The only thing that I wish was that these three colors weren't so similar looking. I wish that at least like one of them was maybe like more of like a pearl shade, because do I really need like 3 gold shades? It's like 3 gold shades, and this one isn't gold, but it is like a copper, so it's sort of like in the same family. So that's the only thing that I would change about this palette. But I do think this is a super duper wearable palette. It's gonna be so sexy for the fall time, since summer is pretty much canceled. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this look down below. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.